Hey, it's Jang from UltimateRC.com, and this is a Traxxas XO-1. Sort of. See, from the very beginning, when the XO-1 was first announced, I said that this was going to be a pretty awesome car, but I personally wasn't interested in spending $1,000 to $1,100 on an RTR. So I didn't. I spent about $450 out of pocket and put in my own electronics. I just needed a brand new rolling chassis, set of wheels, and a body from eBay. I already had the stuff to make it go. I was originally planning to go even lower budget on it by transforming my Stampede 4x4 into one of these by just swapping out the middle bits. However, after spending some quality time looking at the exploded views, I realized that this really is a unique car, and conversion just wouldn't be practical. So here she is in all of her glory. Not just a stretched slash 4x4, no plastic chassis, not the cheap crap bucket that most of the internet would have you believe. Even sitting still on the table, this is a very nice car. Probably one of the most well-designed, well-sorted vehicles Traxxas has ever released. Now, like I said, I used my own electronics, starting with this Hobbywing 150 amp ESC. That cost about $75, brand new from valuehobby.com. I didn't skimp on the servo. This is my Savox 1258 TG, very fast and very strong. Batteries? Well, I've got lots and lots of batteries. But finally, in the motor department, I used my 10-shock X802. This is a 2100 kV unit that I got from ckhobby.com. The net result, running on just 4S LiPo, this tops out at about 50 miles per hour. And that's with gearing that's safe to run for an entire pack. If that sounds hella slow, consider that the ready-to-run Traxxas XO-1 only goes about 55 on 6S with the stock gearing. So basically what you're looking at here is comparable performance to the out-of-the-box XO-1 RTR. But wait a minute, the internet said that this can only be driven at 100 miles per hour. The internet said that this car can't turn. The internet said that this car can only be driven on a full-scale super speedway racetrack. I love how wrong the internet is most of the time. This car is a pleasure to drive. This is the box stock setup with absolutely no suspension tuning whatsoever. And those are the stock tires too. I didn't even juice them up with any traction compound. For an RTR class vehicle from Traxxas, 1/7 scale, this thing is going around a 1/10 scale racetrack pretty nicely. It's very smooth, calm, and collected. As long as you don't overdrive it, it's actually really easy. It's far from perfect out here though. In spite of the apparent lack of body roll, the suspension is actually pretty soft. And it needs to be driven on standard street surfaces where most people will actually be driving this thing. As the weight transfers around in turns and on acceleration and on braking though, it's fairly easy to lose traction at one corner or another. Also, the tires, while very good for an RTR, still aren't race class. On most surfaces, if you get happy with the throttle, it will drift. Thankfully, with no center diff, it drifts pretty consistently, but this means that you do have to kind of roll on the throttle if you want to maintain traction, especially when accelerating up to your top speed runs. The aerodynamics on this car are pretty fantastic though. Even without the optional high-speed front splitter set, once you get above about 30-35 miles per hour, it really plants and all the squirreliness goes away. You don't visibly see it lower itself down to the ground or anything like that, but you definitely feel it. It just becomes much more stable at speed. The only other RCs I've seen display this much aerodynamic effect are the wedge-bodied vehicles like 1/12 scale pan cars and 8th scale nitro racing on-roads. Believe me, it's no small feat to get such a rounded, street-style body to behave this way. The XO-1 is a good car, plain and simple. I still wouldn't spring $1,100 for the RTR, but that's because I don't have any need for a car that'll go 100 miles per hour. This 50 mile an hour setup is more than enjoyable, and I could easily gear it to go 65 plus. With a good 6S setup, it could probably hit 80. Theoretical top speeds aside, I like the car, and I'm really happy to have had a chance to own one. Thank you for watching. As always, please hit the like button on the video if you liked the video, or hit thumbs down if you didn't. Either way is a big help to me. Talk to you again soon.